to Cooperville.
Yeah, well, we are here. We are like the Titanic coming to port. It's better late than never, right? What up, Joe? Yeah, we is no Dr. J today. Dr. J is getting ready for his Financial Freedom Virtual Summit, which kicks off tomorrow, so he is not on the show tonight. He'll be back next week, though. Promise you that. So we decided to start a little bit later. Coming up in about 10 minutes. Brand new song. It's called Neon Cowboy. Jered Ames comes up in just a little bit. It'll be fun. It'll be a fun one today. Monday. Got your shirt in for Saturday night. Yes, sir. Saturday's coming in hot. Yes, sir. Coming in hot. That's a little Monday dance for you. You're welcome. Welcome to the show. Good to see you. Glad you are here. Down to business on a Monday. Yes, Saturday. The Joe Stam Band at Wolf's Den in Cameron. Free show. It's going to be a good one. We are excited. Part of the trip. Birthday week is in a house. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Thursday is the birthday. I know. I'm excited. 41. And I'm going to jump out of an airplane. Because why not? Because why not? Let's, this is probably not on. Let's turn this on. Here it is. CoopervilleClothing.com. It's the website. It's all good stuff. It's fashionable. It's trendy. It's sassy. It was called today. Sassy. We got some sassy things on here. And I'm all right with that. Check out the entire collection at CoopervilleClothing.com. Everything from hats to t-shirts to racerbacks to hoodies to shorts. Man, we got it all. We got it all. CoopervilleClothing.com. And more to come. New drop coming up on Friday, 8 a.m. Central Standard Time. Be a part of it. Follow us on the socials. It's at Cooperville Clothing on Facebook and on the Instagram. Go check it out. Captain Coop's Beard Company. Excited. Riverfest going to be out there live coming up on the 14th. It's a week from Saturday. So that'll be fun. Be out there with all the beard oils, the beard balms, the beard butters. We are going to have also some apparel out there too. The Captain Coop's Blackout Tee and the woman's Racerback Tank. We'll have those available for you at Riverfest in Chippewa Falls. Otherwise, CaptainCoops.com. It's the website to go to get your beard stuff taken care of. We had a great meeting today talking about Captain Coop stuff. So new things coming very soon. MidwestMeals.com. Check it out. 16 rotating meals. Just went and picked ours up today. Excited for the new, chocolate cookie cravings crushers. Man, those are my jam. Whatever you need. Build your own meals. Their signature menu of 16 items plus bulk ingredients. Like if you need protein by the pound, if you need veggies by the pound or carbs by the pound, whatever you're into, whatever your intake needs to be, check out Midwest Meals. Get your order by Friday and you get them shipped out nationwide on Mondays. Promo code is Cooper at checkout and you get 10% off your first order at MidwestMeals.com. Want to throw this in there as well. Epic Willie's Adventure kicks off we leave for Missouri a week from Thursday. So that's what, like 10 days? 10 days, no GPS, no cell phones, no interstate roads, just the back roads of America and Willie's Jeeps, period correct, drivetrains, rust, sweat, grease, oil, and the open air of the mountains. The new Epic Willie's Adventure crew will tackle incredible journey tracking the Oregon Trail, the original Oregon Trail. Check out some of these photos, man. And this is from the last event, or the last Epic Willie's Adventure, which was Canada to Mexico. I was not a part of that. I lived vicariously through it, right? Super cool stuff, though. So that starts next week. Again, the trip down. We're making the trip down on the 12th. That's Thursday. And then the adventure begins on Friday of next week. So follow Epic Willie's Adventure on all the social medias to keep up with what we're doing. It's going to be a wild time, man. I'm super excited to be a part of it. Get some sponsor love in there. Of course, Max Built Off-Road and Manufacturing. Advanced Auto Parts, Bad X Productions are going to be out there doing our filming. Yokohama Tires, Warren Winch, Crown Automotive Sales, Kaiser Willie's Jeep, Northwoods Brew Pub and Grill, Classic Enterprises, Rainforce Fuel, Grizzly Coolers. Yeah, give them the Grizz. E-Willie's, TechNet, and Monster Energy. Yeah, check it out. EpicWilliesAdventure.com, by the way, is the website for that. So you can go and see what it's all about. Live vicariously through us on our trip, the Oregon Trail. It's going to be wild, dude. Like I kind of just started. Obviously, if you watch the show, Joe, I know you know this because I've been talking about it for the last couple of weeks, but I'm starting to put some things out there. Like we had the monster truck. The monster truck was here today, delivering our stash of Ultra and Monster Hydro for the trip, like ridiculous amounts of Monster. So they were here, so posted that. And people were like, "What? Like what? Like what's going? Like what? What are you doing?" I'm like, "Yeah, like period correct Willie's Jeeps, Oregon Trail, no interstates, no GPS, no bullshit. All to be filmed, all to be miraculous." But again, the socials, I want to be kind of a part of the team that's running the socials. So please make sure you follow along. Going to be posting a bunch of cool stuff on my page as well. We're doing the podcast every night. The iffy part about the podcast is that we may be in the middle of BFE somewhere, like somewhere. So we're going to have to wait until we get at least some cellular reception, set up like a cellular hotspot to be able to upload some of those podcasts. But make sure you follow along. It'll all be on the Welcome to Cooperville podcast page. Make it a part of your selection today. Cool stuff. What up, Joe? He's on the YouTube and he's on the Twitch. I love it. Listening to Jered, I thought he was listening to King George at first. Yeah, did a double take. For sure, man. He's good. Good dude. He's got that vibe, man. He's got that 90s country vibe, which as you know, huge fan of. And we'll talk about his influences and stuff because I think that King George is on there. Mary Nelson's in the house. Hi, Mary. Sorry we started late today. My bad. Oh, it was kind of intentional. Navigating the course of the week. And we decided Jered's not coming on until just a couple minutes from now. So let's wait and start the show. And we did. Wednesday, we have a big show. I want to talk about that at the end of today's show. So we have 2 guests on Wednesday. Heads up on that. The show on Thursday won't be at its regularly scheduled time because I'll be jumping out of an airplane. I'm not really going to do that. I'm not going to make bird things when I'm flying out of an airplane on Thursday. Unless that's part of the thing. I think I have to go through like some sort of training beforehand because it's my first jump. 41st birthday, first jump out of an airplane. I think I get a little training. And if this is part of it, I may have questions like, this is not going to work, man. Where's the ripcord? That's what I want to know. What we got over here in the chat? Ruth. Hello, Ruth from Kentucky. Ruth McQueen from Kentucky. Hello, welcome to the show. Joe says, in the garage on the laptop playing over the stereo. Cooperville live in stereo. I apologize in advance. Mary Nelson, it's going to be cool. And I am crazy. It was like, what do you want to do? What do you want to do? You're turning, like 41 is like turning 22. You know what I mean? Like 21 is like, oh my God, you're 21. It's the greatest. And you turn 40 and you're like, oh my God, I'm 40. At 41, you're like, me. Like my mom probably forgot. But no, so we're, Nick and I and a bunch of our buddies, my cousin Josh, jumping out of an airplane. Seems like a good thing to do. But I will tell you, if there's no show on Friday, something went amiss. going to be fine. It's going to be fine. Nick wasn't going to tell me either. She was like going to keep it a secret until we pulled up to the place and started, getting ready to jump out of an airplane. I'm like, thank you for telling me in advance. I feel like I needed time to process it, and it's been a couple weeks, so I feel good. I'll be safe. I will. Jered Ames is in the green room, ready to chat. Super excited to have him on the program. Talk about Neon Cowboy. Talk about all the things. Talk about parenthood. Parenthood's always up to no good. How you doing, my friend? Welcome to the show.
Good. How are you, man?
Doing good. It's I have my son. I have my son like every other week. So I have him for an extended period of time. And like, you're a dad. Do you ever have those moments where you just go, like, wow, the processing that goes on inside of a child's brain? It just, you go, I never would have thought to express myself this way. I never would have thought to have picked up this ball and thrown it at that thing. Like, but there's a lot of dad moments that happened today. And I know that you, as a dad, you can relate to those moments. You're like, that's interesting.
Oh yeah. In stores, wherever. Oh yeah. Just the random things they come up with to do.
Yeah. And it's amazing because they have as an adult, when you get older, you kind of learn your bearings. Like if you're at home by yourself and you want to act a fool, I guess it's up to you. But in public, you've kind of learned how to, have social contracts with other human beings.
Right. Yeah.
Children, they're like it doesn't matter. It's no hold barred. They're like, a banana. They're just going to the store and they're eating bananas. I'm like, what are you watching as cartoons that is teaching you this is okay, or on TikTok or whatever the kids watch these days? It's wild, man. But I'm glad you're on the show. I want to talk so much about your story because you're a Midwest guy, like born and raised. You're a Midwesterner. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Where's the hometown?
Between right over the border from Illinois, up in Wisconsin.
That's where we're from, man. That's the home state, man. We're up here in Chippewa Falls technically, but we're right outside of Eau Claire. So yeah, we're the same state, man.
Very nice. Yeah, I've been up to Eau Claire. A couple buddies went to school up there.
The UW.
Beautiful college town.
It is, especially down on Water Street. That's where all the adult fun happens, from what I remember back in the day. But I loved your story because and cool to find out that it was the Midwest part was from Wisconsin. But there was your grandparents' farm and like your grandma introducing you to music. Like it's such a cool, like that in itself seems like it's a song. Like it almost writes itself, with the. And your influences in music and stuff is so cool. But tell me about growing up in Wisconsin and being that farm kid and how the trajectory took you into music and eventually, and we'll get to the Nashville story, but like where did the roots grow deep there in southern Wisconsin?
Man, it was like, it was definitely my grandmother that really influenced me to play piano and organ and stuff like that. And my mom wanted me to take lessons and everything because my grandmother played by ear. So I started taking lessons. I didn't like the piano lessons at all, so I started to teach myself by ear as well. So we stopped taking lessons there, and I was about like 9, I think, when I started playing piano. And then as soon as I was like 13, I think that's when I picked up guitar and drums and was like, I want to play guitar. I want to play. Back then it was like the Beatles I was listening to, or like rock and roll, like Green Day, like when Green Day came out, and Blink-182 and all that stuff. So I was jamming all the aggressive rock music I could back in, high school and whatnot. But yeah, I mean, music has always been in my blood, even when I was in college and stuff. I had odd jobs I went to school in Chicago, had odd jobs, but I was always playing in bands, always. Yeah. So now I'm finally in the position where I don't have to have a day job and I can just play music whenever I want to down here in Nashville.
Well, that's not a bad gig. I want to flash back to the Green Day when Dookie came out. I remember it was on the CD. For the kids who don't remember, CDs are these round things used to put into vehicles, and you could play them instead of just yelling at the Alexa to play it. But I remember Green Day Dookie was on my Christmas wish list for my parents. And like there was a big like a weird reaction to seeing that on the wish list just because of the title of the album, and then obviously the album cover was cartoony and things blowing up and half cows and just weird stuff. But that's one of those and I kind of miss those days of that kind of rock when it came out. When you talk about Green Day, you talk about Blink, Offspring as well, like albums that you got them and you listened to the whole thing all the way through. 3 or 4 songs made the radio, but I used to listen to those albums all the way through, and my favorites were some of the ones that never even got airplay on radio, but they were just great, iconic, alt rock albums.
Yeah. I mean, that's back then you could judge an album by, can you listen through it the whole way through, And then I think when I started to get more particular with music, it was like, oh, I don't really like this album. There's like, I like 3 songs off of this. Yep. And then
it's
a lot of people. That's why a lot of people now just release EPs or singles,
Yeah.
It's crazy how much has changed with, there's no CDs in stores or the discount bin at Walmart now. I mean, you go into Best Buy, there's no CDs.
Yeah, it's wild, man.
Yeah, it's a different world. I mean, used to get excited to go to the record store, go to Best Buy and pick up the new album and everything like that.
Yeah. Release date, like new release day, when a new album like came out in stores and people were, if it was a big record release, people would line up around the block to be the first to have it. And then, be the first when SoundScan became a thing. People were like, oh, I was the 1500th person to buy, the new Garth album. And it's so strange to have lived through all that and witnessed that and been in record stores. And they always put that horrible plastic casing around cassettes and around CDs. That was just the worst to try to ever, to try to remove from the disc.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And nowadays, you don't really need to have, that. No album artwork, no liner notes, none of the fun stuff that we used to, enjoy reading.
Liner notes, going through and like reading, like, see if there was like any like secret conversations or something like that, all kinds of weird stuff they put in the, in the thank yous and everything, man.
Yeah. Lyrics, the lyric sheets in there. I used to learn. That's how you learned all the words of the song, was they were on there. Oh man, memories, man. That was good times.
Back in the day, back in my day, right?
Yeah, back I was with you, man. I was actually probably a little bit before that, because I remember, it wasn't even FYE at the time. I can't remember. It was like Disc Jockey, I think, was the name of the music store in the mall, and the cassette tapes would come in like these giant, like, so people couldn't steal them. It was like a little cassette tape, but it came in this giant plastic, indestructible casing.
I kind of remember that, yeah.
That you had to like have like a Sawzall in order to get off. It was good time. Trip down memory lane there. I appreciate that.
Oh, yeah.
But
absolutely.
So when was your first like organized music? Did you have a band in high school? Was that kind of where, working together with other musicians? Did it start in high school, or was that a college thing? Like, when did the band portion of it come into play for you?
It was definitely in high school. My cousin, who was a couple years younger than me, he also played drums and guitar and stuff. So we kind of, when we were growing up, we kind of played off each other. Like, he would learn something and I would then, he would teach me, or vice versa, I'd teach him something. We'd kind of do like a little duo in his parents' basement and like cover like Beatles songs and, all kinds of like Green Day and stuff like that. Yeah. That's kind of like where we really started to get into the whole band thing, or like playing music with more than just like learning chords and trying to figure that out. And then we kind of played talent shows in high school, or like at pizza parlors and stuff, kind of like, like rock and roll shows at the, in the gym. It is very, very low budget. But I mean, that's kind of like where it all started, playing in bands and like meeting somebody like, oh, you play bass, or, oh, you play drums too. And, I still have videotapes, but they'll never be seen.
They'll never be seen because nobody can find a VCR unless they go to like, the bargain bin at a resale store. They're like, oh, look, and it probably doesn't work either. So you're actually probably safe now. You can't even make you digitize it, but
Yeah.
Video.
Or somebody's at the resale shop and there is a VHS tape,
no label on it.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, like, I wouldn't.
Tapes went.
Yeah, that's what my mom's like. I'm just going to get rid of all these. Like, I'm not sure if I would have gotten rid of all of them. I've done a little preview before I got rid of them.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So when you're playing in these bands in high school and stuff, are you genre specific, or are you kind of dabbling? I know you mentioned obviously different generations of rock music. We talk about the Beatles and obviously alt stuff from the 90s. was it kind of sprinkled in? Did you do some, country stuff in there? Or were you all kind of in the rock vein? I mean, it seems, kind of like an open window.
I mean, it was definitely a lot of rock back when I was in high school. Cause I graduated high school in 2002. So, I mean, we're talking like 98 through 2002 was like right when Green Day was huge, Blink-182, Newfound Glory.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of that stuff was kind of the stuff we were playing at the talent shows, or playing the pizza parlors and stuff. Bouncing Souls, like weird, like kind of avant-garde punk rock too. So we were like kind of all over the place, but we were just doing covers and stuff. We would write some as well, and then we'd play open mics too, like where it was like 21 and up at the bar, and me and my cousin would try and get in. Our parents would come and like, allow them to let us up on stage and play some of that stuff. But yeah, I mean, it was mainly just covers and a lot of rock. I was rebelling. Like, I grew up on country music, right? Yeah. So in high school, I was like, I don't want to listen to what my parents listen to. These albums that are coming out are awesome, and it's like hard, heavy guitars, and
Well, yeah. And in high school, you're playing to an audience too. Like, I'm not saying there's strategy behind it, but you're like, okay, what is going to get, the most attention? And it's playing the songs that are, the heavy hitters, the big ones, big popular songs at the time. I get the methodology to it, like 100%. Like, understand the room. That's a big key to it. Because you grew up, I'm just reading your bio and stuff, working on your grandparents' farm and having that old radio in the barn, which any kid who grew up in Wisconsin, 85% spend times or summers working on either a family farm or a friend's of a friend's family farm. So I spent time, as a child working on a farm in Elk Mound, and it was always a radio, and it was always on a country station. And he talked about some of those early influences with, George Strait and a lot of that 90s country, obviously, during that time. When did the rebellious stage happens in high school? Not rebellion, but you're playing the music that that is heavy and you're into at that time. When does country start to reintroduce itself into your life and become kind of part of the continuation of your story?
It was probably around 2010 or something like that, because we started visiting Nashville, like me and my buddies, back in like about 2010, 2011, something like that. And we'd come down here, and I mean, Nashville was nothing then what it is today,
right?
But I was like, man, these guys are down here. They're playing at all these honky tonks down here, and it's a party, all these great bars. That's what the big attraction was. And so I started visiting Nashville like a bunch, like a couple times a year, and then it turned into more and more and more. But I'd say probably about then I started getting back into the whole countryside. I mean, I've always listened to country music here and there, and always had, like George Strait or Randy Travis, Alan Jackson, like whenever it would, randomly put it on the radio or throw in an old CD or something like that. But probably about then I was like, man, I should get back into country. And I was in a bluegrass band in college as well, did some of that stuff and played other genres, kind of ventured out from rock and did some pop stuff and whatnot. But probably about 2010, 2011, I decided like maybe I should start doing some more country stuff, and decided to start a country cover band up in Chicago. So I would visit Nashville and like see what these guys are doing in these bands and how interacting with the crowds and some of the jokes and like the holler and swaller stuff and whatnot. And so I started to bring that in Chicago, because we started to get like residencies at some hotels and some local pubs and stuff around Chicago where I was living. And then, it was probably about 2014. I was like, I'm done with Chicago. I want to move to Nashville. So I had a few years of like going back and forth before I was just like, Nashville's where I need to be. And especially for songwriting and networking and being here to like immerse yourself in the culture, because you don't want to travel back and forth and try and develop a career, So.
And Nashville is, like you talked about the songwriting element of it. I mean, there's just the rounds and the group rights and all the inner workings. I mean, obviously there is the technology now that's obviously been much more prevalent just because of the last 18 months. But there's nothing, it sounds like, from all the artists I talked to who are in Nashville, who find their home in Nashville, like the web of the people that you meet, and on a random night, it's, another songwriter or somebody who wants to work with you, or they catch you, doing a set, and they're like, hey, we want you to, be a part of something else. Is it like it feels like it's always in motion down there. Everything is always moving. There's always momentum, and things are, there's a constant flow.
Yeah. I mean, it's crazy about the networking or the writers rounds and stuff like that. I mean, you can meet so many different people, or meet somebody through somebody else, or, I have yet to get in the right room for that number one song, but I'm trying to work my way to that room. Right. It takes a while, man, but COVID was actually a blessing in disguise. Did a ton of writing, did a lot of writing via Skype or Zoom and stuff like that, because we weren't really meeting up in person at the time. Yeah, I mean, a lot of these songs, even Neon Cowboy or Rear View, all came out of the pandemic. It actually gave me room to sit down and try and, finish songs I had, or ideas that I've had in the past, and kind of be like, okay, I've got nothing else to do besides take care of my son, and I've got a guitar. Nobody's hanging out, nobody's doing anything. So it was a blessing in disguise.
Because before that, you were doing a bunch of shows. I mean, you were like 5 nights a week. You're doing shows in Nashville before everything shut down. So I mean, that will create a block of. I guess I really don't have time to do a lot of writing or finish this song. Or you start an idea, and you don't get a chance to finish it because of the constant, movement.
Absolutely right. And we're back to that now. We're back to 4 nights a week. And so, I mean, as taking care of, your son is like a full-time job almost. And so, it gave me that breathing room, and if I need to do, which I need to, but take a break again, take like a month off, maybe go on vacation, or, go visit the parents and stuff, and just take that breather to try and finish some of these ideas. Because when you are working downtown and it's constant cover songs, your brain just you get writer's block like that, and a lot of the guys that, try and do the whole artist thing kind of venture away from Broadway, try and develop their career, develop their writing more. So I'm kind of in this phase right now where it's okay, I got a couple songs out. I got to figure out where I'm going to move, where I'm going to progress now to, focus more on the artistry side, and try and, venture away from being just the cover band on Broadway. Which, I mean, I'm not going to do it. It's going to be a slow process, because obviously Broadway is great income for me and, the band. So it's just, but I also don't want to play Broadway for the rest of my life. It's I'd rather be opening for decent sized artists, and start to venture into that realm of the music industry as well. So, yeah,
it's got to be a wild balance. I mean, you even talked about, you had the parenthood thing in there too. Is you have all of these elements that you're trying to keep in the air. You're trying to keep all the plates spinning at once. How do you find that balance? I mean, it sounds like the 18 months of lockdowns and not being able to do shows and stuff helped kind of center you and have you finish the projects that you had working on, and spend time with your son and things like that. But right now, how do you keep it all the plates spinning in the air with all the shows and the songwriting and Neon Cowboy, which is a great song, which I do want to mention. We had a comment before you jumped on from Joe, who says, I was listening to Jered. I thought I was listening to King George at first. Did a double take on Spotify to make sure he's freaking good. So
that's funny, man.
You just got you got a George Strait comparison there, but so many plates to have spinning in the air. How do you live and die by your calendar? Okay, I have this going on today, this going on today. How do you keep it all afloat?
Thankfully, so it's a learning thing. I'm because I've never really released music or pursued serious artistry before. So thankfully, our shows downtown are the same every single week, every month. It's the same 4 shows, same times. So that's set in stone. Don't have to worry about that. But now I've never been a big social media guy, but during the pandemic, I was like, okay, might as well try and start on Instagram and Facebook and develop more of a fan base, and I was doing live streams as well. So the whole live stream thing helped me connect with people that have seen me at shows down here in Nashville. They were sitting at home as well. So while I was doing live streams, I mean, they would tune and be like, "Hey, we saw you at, we saw you at this place downtown when we visited in 2019, and that helped me kind of like build relationships, build a bigger fan base. And I mean, it's organic.
Yeah.
I'm not, I'm not one to ever buy followers or, buy into the BS, what you get is me.
Mm-hmm.
You'll get some posts of us playing shows or pictures of me, but you're also going to get posts of my son too, like us going out and stuff. So, but yeah, I mean, it is a balancing thing, trying to do all that stuff, but I'm not gonna, I don't know. I'm not overly, social media guy or whatnot. So, I got my time with my son, got my time for social media, got my shows, just learning how to navigate through it all, because it is a lot.
Yeah.
But like my mom will come to town. My mom's actually in town right now.
Nice.
So, I mean, she'll come to town, hang out and help me with the baby. And, it always is helpful, It's chaotic, right now, he's just starting preschool. So it's like, we're all over the place. These are the best days right now, these best times,
And it's cool. I think it's got to be cool to be able to do things that you really enjoy doing. I mean, you enjoy playing music, you're able to do it, and it's income, and it's something you like, not to downplay anybody's career, but there's a lot of people that get up every day and are like, I got to go do this thing that I hate doing. But it pays the bills. You have the opportunity to get to play play music in Nashville, in the hub, be a part of the inner workings in the web, also be able to, spend time with your son and be able to pursue this new avenue with, releasing your own music, which again, huge congratulations on Neon Cowboy. It's a fantastic song. And I really, really love that it sounds like you, like this, like even the King George thing is great, but like this,
right.
I can feel your influences with that 90s country sound. I mean, you got Steel in there, and I'm like, we're feeling good about life now. But to be able to be authentic and like not cookie cutter, not this is what's really hot right now. I'm going to jump into this pool of what's happening, but just to be, the artist that you want to be, man. I think that bodes well, and I think it ties really closely into that organically growing your social media with those personal relationships, people that have seen you live and they're able to spread the word and the live streams and stuff. I know a lot of artists, went to that, but some artists couldn't because that's raw. That's as raw as it gets. That's a phone and a guitar and some hope.
Yeah. I mean, you're putting yourself out there, and it's make it or break it.
Yeah.
But I mean, I've been doing it for so long, it's like, if you like it, you like it. If you don't, sorry. I tried. I've tried my best here.
Doing all I can. What more do you want from me? No, I know, man. I've been there.
Let me turn the auto tune up on my reel here.
Ding, ding, ding. Next song from Jered has T-Pain on it. It's really weird. It was a strange turn.
Yeah,
after this interview. So you talked about having a lot of time, obviously during the last 18 months to do some writing and stuff like that. Like, what does the next, as we get into the end of kind of 2021 and you look forward to 2022, do you have, are we looking at releasing more music? Like do you have kind of an outline of where the next, 6 months to a year kind of looks for you?
Yeah. So, I got 3 more songs that I'm working on that have been, the band, like it's been recorded in the studio, right? So we're doing some finishing touches. We got to cut some vocals for them. But we got 3 more songs. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to release another single in September, and then possibly one before the holidays. But I'm going to probably give a little break between like probably November, December, and then maybe in the start of the year, release like a full EP with the songs out now, and then a couple more that people have never heard.
Yeah.
Just something like that. So, but yeah, focusing on singles right now, trying to build some more, fans and follows on the social media and just connect with more people. Cause I'm basically starting from nowhere. Cause like I had like 500 followers on Instagram before COVID,
right?
And I could care less. So now it's like trying to reach out there and trying to say, hey, I'm an artist. This is my music. If you like it, give me a follow. Plenty more coming up. That kind of situation. Because if you ever want to make it in the music industry with a record label or anybody that's going to invest in you as an artist, you already have to have a fan base.
Yeah.
So
it's strange, isn't it? Like it used to be the carrot and then the donkey. Now it's the donkey, then the carrot. Like the mathematics are weird, but yeah, you do have to have this. And social media is that's the blessing and the curse of the whole thing is it opened up this. Can this person already have an establishment before they become established? Which is, it's a philosophy, and it's worked for some, but it's it's not. I think it's always another tool in the toolbox. It's something to have, but at the end of the day, and you would probably agree with this. The song makes the day. The song makes the story, and you got some great ones out there right now, and I look forward to hearing new stuff, and I'm sure you are as excited to be able to kind of keep this part of the machine moving. You have the 4 dates a week and you have everything else, but to keep this one kind of moving forward.
It absolutely helps build a fan base by keep on putting out, music here and there, singles and whatnot. I think it's really helping my momentum, and everybody's anticipating like the next release and everything like that. So, do 1 or 2 more single releases this year before the end of the year, and then do an EP early next year, or maybe spring, something like that, like spring through summer, have a whole album to listen to, that's the plan right now.
That's the plan.
We'll see if it comes to fruition.
Was it the best laid plans? It's something along those lines. You got to be fluid with the whole situation. But Jered, I want to say thank you for jumping on the show. It was great to hear you tell your story. The Wisconsin tie, I think that's awesome, man. And I had Joe pop back up in here. He says, "What? He's from Wisconsin and he has that sound." I'm like, "Well, it's southern Wisconsin, so he's not quite UP as they are north of us."
Playing on Broadway, man, make you southern real quick. Right?
Just one weekend down there, all of a sudden you're like, well, I got a little twang in my thing. Yeah. I don't understand.
How y'all doing?
Hey, I do want save the dates because early January we're making a road trip down to Florida and our stop. We're making a stop in Nashville on our way down, and we're gonna do a gathering. So I'll be in touch with you. We'll get together and we'll.
Awesome.
I don't know, swap dad stories or talk about old records and stuff like that.
Yeah, have a beer, swap dad stories, do whatever, man. I'm down.
Awesome, man. Jered, let people know where they can find you on your website and on social media. I know we have it posted on some of the links, but let the people know who are watching where they can find you.
JeredAmes.com has links to all my social medias, everything on there. Merchandise store, iTunes, Spotify. And then there's also some YouTube stuff. So youtube.com/Jered Ames Music has a bunch of videos of us playing downtown, has some videos from when we were doing live streams here with the band at my house. And then, I'm everywhere. Jered, Jered Ames.
Look down in the name thing down here where it's right down there. That's where mine is backwards, so it always looks like I'm pointing in the wrong direction. It's strange. But Jered, thank you so much, man, for the time and the chat. And best of luck moving forward. And we'll be in touch before that January date. Maybe we'll get you back on before the next single comes out this fall.
Yeah. Awesome. Yeah, absolutely, man.
Awesome, man. Take care of yourself, my friend. Best of luck and congratulations on Neon Cowboy, man. It's a great single and it's gonna do things for you. I got a feeling.
Appreciate it, man. Thank you.
Take care of yourself. There you go.
Bye-bye.
Jered Ames on the show. Want to get to some of these people in the comments over here. Youngo Pirate. Good evening, Prophets. Should I just get drunk tonight? That's on you, man. It's Monday. Yeah, I like it. Joe, keep up the great work and the great sound. Yeah, dude, if you're not following Jered Ames right now, stop watching this and go follow him, and then come back to the show. Cool. Mom's watching. Mom's watching from California. Ruth, thank you so much for tuning in. Yeah, the Wisconsin tie. Who knew? It said Midwest. I'm like, usually Midwest is, but he's got that Wisconsin tie, which we like. Good stuff. Thank you all for jumping in on the chat. Lots of people chiming in over here, wherever you're watching, on Facebook, on Twitch, on YouTube. Thank you so much. It means a lot to me. We have a big show coming up on Wednesday before I jump out of an airplane on Thursday, which could be the last show. We don't know. We have Murphy Elmore is back on the show. Another boy hanging out in Nashville, causing all sorts of trouble. Murphy Elmore is coming up, and Rocky Morningside will be on the show on Wednesday as well. It's a twofer on Wednesday. We're back tomorrow just to talk shit, so join us at 5 p.m. Central Standard Time. We will have conversations you can be a part of. And again, yeah, young Pete, I can't, this font is so small. I have old eyes. Have yourself a cocktail tonight. That's my recommendation. It's Monday Fun Day. And it's my birthday week, so do whatever you want. Y'all have a great night. Take care of yourselves. Go follow Jered Ames on all the socials and on the streaming platforms and all the things. All the stuff. You won't regret it.